Guys, how you doing? I'm Ryan Myers. This is my project on investment strategy analysis for Finance 695, Dr. Cresson. Alright, my investment strategy that I chose to analyze question would be, do companies with a higher return on equity pay out larger dividends? It seems that it'd be true because a company with high ROE may be able to afford paying larger dividends instead of retained earnings. What I did was I chose the Dow 30 companies. It was just a random choice. I was going to use the companies that we used in class, but anyway. Also, for all of my information and stuff, I used a combination of Bloomberg and mostly Morningstar. Seemed to be a reliable source. And then finally, after putting all the information in Excel, sorting it out, used the regression statistical analysis test on Excel, which it looks for the p-value and the x variable. And we'll get into that in a second. And as you notice, I don't have a lot of pictures on my slides because they're just jam-packed with statistical fun facts. You'd like that one. So first of all, what is return on equity? I know we've gone over this in class, but I'm going to run through it real quick. Its definition, or the equation, is net income over total equity. It measures basically how much a company generates in profit to the money that the shareholders have invested in equity. And then, basically they'll do two things with their profit. They're either going to retain the earnings so they can grow the company, or they're going to pay out to shareholders in the form of a dividend. To me, a high ROE, it tells me that they're comfortable with their equity or their retained earnings. Therefore, net income should be partially dispersed out to shareholders through dividends. What is a dividend? A dividend is a distribution of a portion of the company's earnings that aren't retained for the growth of the company, as I just said. So, dividends are calculated by a board of directors, top-notch guys at the company, and distributed to a class of its shareholders. Dividends are kind of said to be a sign of whether a company expects sufficient growth or not, because high dividends, they're saying, hey, we can afford to pay out bigger dividends. So, all right, here's what I said earlier. I took the Dow 30 companies and I sorted them in Excel by ROE, largest to smallest, which I'll go through in a second. I'm not going to read all these company names. I'm sure you're familiar with them. Take a look. I'm going to give you a moment of silence. That's fine. No, I'm just kidding. So let's get into the question. Does a company's ROE affect the dividend that it pays out? That's what I wanted to test. It seemed like it would work. Seemed like it'd be a good thing to look at when investing. So I took all the Dow 30 companies and inserted their ROE numbers and their dividend numbers. And Excel's a really smart program. And I sorted the ROE from largest to smallest. So after that, we're going to test the information using a data analysis tool, statistical data analysis tool in Excel called regression. Alright, here you can see a lot of numbers, letters, and symbols that may not mean much. But we're really looking for one key number and that's the p-value x variable one. As you can see, it's highlighted on the screen. Basically, we're looking for a p-value less than 0.01. But as you can see, it's greater. It's 0.02100 and so forth. So let's get into what this means about the statistical test. Technology is a lot smarter than I am, so we can see that like I said, the p-value of the x variable was greater than 0.01, which means that the sample is not statistically significantly different. I guess in human words, that means that there's no relevance to companies with higher ROE paying out these higher dividends as I thought. There's no correlation between a high ROE and higher dividends. So, we find that maybe it's not the smartest thing to do, look at high ROE and expect high dividends. Although it seems as if this strategy could be true because higher ROE would mean that a company is making good profit on shareholder equity, that they would or they could increase dividends. So the statistical analysis used, it proves that there's no correlation between the two, and improves my investment strategy wrong. Go figure. But thanks for watching, and we've got another one coming for you, company analysis. All right.